BTC is dumping. Let's go on and run in full panic and say, oh, I told you so, the top is in, the top is in. Or we could just check the chart and see where it's going. That way we get to make money on the way down or catch it at its bottom and bring it back up. Simple as that. Yes? So there are some levels here that I'm looking at, and I've used like 3 Fib plots right here. The first is the blue, the second is the white, and the third is the green. According to the blue right here, we came into the 1.618 in blue, and then we went back to 0.786. Normally after that you go to 2.618, and that 2.618 will give you 112k. For the white, we also came to the 1.618 and almost reached the 786 right here, but now we are back to that 1.618, and its own bottom shows 114k. The green shows that we are yet to go to its own 1.618, which will be at 111k. However, its own bottom will be at about 103.7 right here. So for the green right here, its own projection would look like so. Come down to 1618, go back to 786, and then 2618 right here. Now, as you can see, both for the white and the blue, we have not broken the support, which are both the 1618 region right here. So we have not broken that support. But if we break them, then we are looking at this zone right here. So the zone is 114 to 111. From this zone, both for the white and blue, we are going back up with our maximum zone at about the 786, which is 117 right here. Important to note that we are looking like a head and shoulders here. So head and shoulders, knees and toes. So that's what we are currently showing here. Now there is a CME gap around this zone as well. So if we go to BTC on the CME here, we should be able to see a CME gap that's between 115 to 114. So this is more confluence, but it's important to note that we've not broken the support as shown in the previous chart right here. On this chart, we've not broken the support. But when we do break that support and start to move to the downside, this zone right here between 114 to 111, that will be the bottoming out zone for Mr. BTC before another move to the upside. Note that the bottom might as well just be 114 or as deep as 111, but between this zone right here, that will be the bottom. USDT dominance should be showing us something similar as well, but it's important to track it with this zone right here. Yes, we should be measuring it using this zone as well. That means that if USDT dominance was to go to this zone, then BTC would have bottomed without necessarily reaching this zone. So if we quickly go to USDT dominance, we should see something similar. All right, so on USDT dominance, you see now the inverted head and shoulders, yes, similar to the head and shoulders on BTC. So if you invert the chart, then that now will look like the head and shoulders on USDT dominance. Now, as you would notice, it's not moving the same as Mr. BTC, hence why the zone on BTC where we're talking about is somewhere around here. That would be a real rally for USDT dominance to go up to that zone right there. And we just have to be tracking Mr. BTC together with USDT dominance right here, because if it was to come up here, BTC would have bottomed. However, according to USDT dominance, it would actually be coming to somewhere around here if it were to break this resistance right here. Of course, after here, you would have somewhat of a retracement, then potentially moving higher. But this analysis is solely based on the idea that this resistance right here is broken. Interestingly though, if we look at the RSI right there, you will also notice some type of bullish divergence that has been forming on USDT dominance. So as price continued to come to the downside here, which is this right here, you notice the RSI going to the upside right here. So this is telling us that a reversal on USDT dominance is coming. When that will happen is what we cannot know. We might as well continue doing this forever, but eventually we will see some sort of retracement back to the upside here on Madame USDT dominance. If we used some very basic technical analysis right here and say that this thing is looking like a descending wedge, which will most likely end up in a bullish move, remember that head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders form at the ending part of each trend. So the ending part of this trend is actually a downtrend, meaning that it will most likely move to the upside. So if we were saying that this is a descending wedge, then this thing would be looking like so. meaning that this move up here is actually testing price. It's not like they are taking profit or anything. It's actually testing price, according to this chart at least. So that gives us the first target somewhere around here, which will be 4.47% on USDT dominance. That would have actually taken this high right here, meaning that this thing could go even higher. This right here would be the first wave, just this right here, and this would be the second wave. This is all on the idea that we actually break the resistance here. Sometimes I make longer videos like this just so that you see my thoughts, but yeah, that's basically it. The top, or say the main target for the wedge, would be up here at this zone right here. That in BTC terms would be somewhere around 103k, but we have to be tracking it together with USDT dominance, because if USDT dominance reaches this zone right here when BTC is still somewhere around 110k or 108k or 114k, that would have been its bottom. So we continuously track with USDT dominance. So quick summary. What we are basically saying in this video is that we have not broken the support yet. If we were to break the support, then we should expect BTC somewhere around 114 to 111. These are the midterm zones, or say the lowest zones that we can see for now. When we do come here, we will expect some sort of rejection back to the upside, and that rejection will actually give us more information about where this thing is going to go, yeah? But if it does go back up and start to retrace to the downside, the lowest, the absolute lowest we can see it go will be somewhere around 103. But that's the lowest. We can't prove anything lower than that. And I really doubt that we will come here. But for now, just this zone here, that's our main potential move to the downside if we were to actually plummet. However, we have not broken the resistance, the support yet. We are still holding huge support right here. It has not broken yet, but just be mindful of the fact that we have some big head and shoulders on our head here, looming and daring us for some type of humongous dump.